Hello, good morning, everybody. So got a lot to get to today. Thank you, Hug Heist, for the 17 months. So Aetherworks Marvel, obviously very interesting card to brew around with all the interesting MH3 energy stuff, and largely because Aetherworks Marvel was like one of the only somewhat playable energy cards that was printed pre MH3. I actually played Aetherworks Marvel at my first Pro Tour. A lot of good memories with this card, and I saw Caleb D post a list that was using Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, one copy of 8 mana Ugin, and 4 Emrakul, the Aeons Torn, as like cards to pitch to Ugin's Labyrinth. I think Ugin's Labyrinth is a great way to power out an Aetherworks Marvel and also play your colorless energy generators, your Solar Transformer, which is really, really good in this deck. 2 mana artifact that taps for a mana that also makes 3 energy is just really perfect. And also your Woodweaver's Puzzleknots. And so so separate from that thought, I've been working on a few different like mono green lists that are playing Ugin's Labyrinth, Shifting Woodland with Cityscape Leveler and Emrakul the Promised End. Now these could be better, but you really don't want to play well, you know what? It's kind of weird. So the idea is that these are really good to copy with Shifting Woodland, and that these are like a little bit more hard castable than Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, right? And if you play Emrakul, the Aeons Torn, that goes to the graveyard and it messes up all of your Delirium stuff for your Shifting Woodlands. So the idea here is that obviously you could just Marvel this stuff out, but you can also use Shifting Woodland to copy an Emrakul and hit your opponent for 13 in the air, then kill them next turn. Or you can copy a Cityscape Leveler and attack and kill your opponent's stuff. And you also have the ability to copy your if your Aetherworks Marvel gets countered or discarded, you can Shifting Woodland to copy your Aetherworks Marvel to activate it too. And so Shifting Woodland gives you a lot of redundancy to your big combo stuff and makes you a lot more resilient to discard spells and counter spells compared to builds that are just playing Aetherworks Marvel. That's kind of the idea here. And you sacrifice a little bit of oomph. Although Emrakul Promised End is like kind of, I think, equal oomph to Ulamog. I think Emrakul is maybe even better. And the card is what's nice thing about Emrakul here is this card is actually pretty castable. Pretty castable in the late game. I guess about as castable as the Escape Leveler. And so you sacrifice the Emrakul, the Aeons Torn, really powerful cast, but you make up for it with like the Shifting Woodland redundancy. I also was able to, in Goldfishing a couple times, cast Cityscape Leveler off of Amped Raptor. I know Amped Raptor is really weird here, but I'll say that you are going to really consistently have, I think, like 4 energy-ish when you cast this card, and if you hit any of these, it's really good. And if you hit one of these, and if you don't have the 8 energy for Cityscape Leveler, you basically never have 13 for Emrakul, although it might happen today. It's still like a 2-mana 2/1 that gives you 2 energy. Like we're playing Woodweaver's Puzzleknot, just like permanents that give us energy are like way, way better in this deck than other shells. So Amped Raptor is just kind of allowed to be this like, I think, really swingy, high impact card that sometimes is just 2-mana 2/1 first strike, gain 2 energy. So I'm just kind of a little bit more comfy bricking on this. And sometimes you're just going to cast Aetherworks Marvel off Amped Raptor and it'll be crazy. Very, very high, very high ceiling card. Malevolent Rumble, big important card to tie the room together here. This like is kind of like one card, Enable Delirium. It ramps you like 2 into your Marvel on 4. Also, the Spawn token goes to the graveyard and makes an energy off Marvel. The Treasure token off Fable makes an energy, or Second Treasure makes an energy for Marvel too, which is a pretty big deal. Fable on turn 2, as we saw in the hands of Spider Space yesterday, is really crazy if you can go Labyrinth into Fable. That seemed like a really powerful play. So let's get going. Is 8 enough to enable Labyrinth consistently? Yeah, I think I've been comfortable enough just playing 8 hits for Labyrinth. It won't always be online, but this is also not a deck that needs it to be always online. And look at this, we are casting Aetherworks Marvel on turn 2, although we won't be able to quite activate it yet. Beautiful hand on the play here. Well, yeah, we'll have 4 energy on turn 2, though. It's pretty nice. Spike, no Omniscience Brew. I mean, I don't know if you're asking. I have played several Omniscience builds of Shifting Woodland so far. None of them have been super good or even particularly good. But in this deck, you don't want to play Omniscience since you need your big stuff to be imprintable to Ugin's Labyrinth. And we're not playing any discard outlets. So You know, sometimes you can just cast your big stuff, but mostly you just care about them being imprintable. So they draw the card. Let's hope not to get Force of Negation here. Second Marvel would give us 6 energy. Legend Ruling Marvels is +2 energy because they both trigger. Yeah, Rumble's really good. We can also Rumble, sack the spawn and still be at 4 energy, although now it looks like we're just going to try to hit an Emrakul to stop myself from getting breach comboed. Maybe Cityscape Leveler also. Although, I guess I'm drawing this. So I can go up to... Yeah, I can still get up to enough energy by like just discharging my own token. So I'll play this to like maybe keep things moving a bit. I got a Woodland and a Puzzleknot. I guess we'll take this Puzzleknot. And we can hold up the Galvanic Discharge now. Alright, spinning. Cool. We turn 3 Emrakul the Promised End. Nice way to start today. See if they concede. They do concede. Nice. Good start. Why 13 mana over 15 mana one? We just did long deck tech, but this deck is trying to use Shifting Woodland in combination with your other stuff. So you want Shifting Woodland to be able to copy your big stuff, and you want Shifting Woodland to be able to copy your Aetherworks Marvel. And if you're playing Emrakul the Aeons Torn alongside Malevolent Rumble, Fable, you can't copy it with Woodland, effectively at least, and it also like messes up your Delirium, which is really awkward too. Also, these 2 cards are just very castable. Which is like pretty dang nice. Okay, so we're on the play against Breach combo. Probably gonna want the Flame Slashes. Damping Sphere seems like I don't want to over sideboard, but Damping Sphere seems like a pretty good tool. And another thing is like these levelers do seem like pretty bad. I'm just gonna go down 2 levelers. I think I'm gonna need to keep like at least 6 in for Ugin's Labyrinth. And then we can board up the Raptors probably, since they're pretty awkward with the Damping Spheres, and click Submit. Yeah, I was able to Raptor into Cityscape Leveler in Goldfishing, but I did also one time have like 8 energy, and then I hit Emrakul, which was pretty feel bad. Is what it is. Okay, deck tech for Penguin. Dimir Scam. If I was building Dimir, I don't know that I would play Grief Scam. I also like people are like really like all the Dimir lists I'm seeing are playing Dress Down plus Null Drifter. If I was gonna play Dress Down plus Null Drifter, I would probably also play Death Shadow because Dress Down and Shadow are pretty good, so you get some overlapping synergy. That being said, I don't think I'm like particularly impressed by this combo. You also have a distinct lack of Psychic Frog, and in my experience so far, Psychic Frog has been awesome. I think Psychic Frog is like a really good card, and I would recommend including that in your modern deck lists that are blue and black, kind of down the board. So they can actually flip their Tamiya next turn. Okay, thankfully I drew untapped red. Nether Goyf dressed down is a small number. That's true. Although I don't think it's like the biggest deal ever. Yeah, if I was gonna build, I think I would just cut the Griefs, I would cut the Shielders, I would cut the Null Drifters, I'd cut the Dress Downs, I'd play Psychic Frog, I'd play Death Shadow probably. I know Death Shadow plus Null Drifter plus Dress Downs a package, but I just don't like it very much. I think like Psychic Frog is that's your card advantage engine right there. I really dislike the Shieldred, I think. I think you could play like maybe 1 Necro Dominance. Like I was kind of thinking that could be interesting. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go Aether Hub, Damping Sphere. I think that could be interesting. Oh, they have Consigned Memory? Bummer. I would be interested in playing like the first Inquisition, maybe even the second Inquisition. I've been kind of liking that card a surprising amount in MH3 metagame. Not sure how important it is going to be to Galvanic Discharge the Magistrate. I kind of desperately need some gas, too. Am I accepting free deck text? We're doing channel point deck text still, but only whatever gets redeemed. So we found another Damping Sphere. Let's get our Shifting Woodland down. Maybe we just died to Constructs. Great League last night. Legacy with Tommy on Brain Surge. Didn't know Tommy existed on my stream. It's funny. I'm glad I do what I can. Tommy exists. You're welcome. Battle with the 51. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Tommy is pretty dang good. Some thought into Torpor Orb plus Null Drifter. Easier to fit curve into Ugin's Labyrinth. Yeah, I guess I would like to see maybe a little bit more synergy with the Torpor Orbs, but I don't know if that's even how realistic that is, you know what I mean? So I can cast Ugin, or Cityscape Leveler next turn, but I'm just dead. Okay. So maybe play Brotherhood End over the Flame Slashes. I think it's going to play, I'll be one less Damping Sphere, since Damping Sphere is just here to contain their combo. But on the play, we could maybe try to race a little bit more. T-Derp, 3 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Any thoughts on what to expect to see at upcoming Pro Tour next week? A little early to say. If the Woodland entered untapped, this hand would probably be okay. Let's go ahead and go to 6. Go to 5. Classic Marvel hand. I'm going to keep one of the big things here to... I'm going to keep both Fables. We keep one of the big things to cast Ugin's Labyrinth, or pitch to Ugin's Labyrinth if I draw it. Harsh Mentor is good versus them. Yeah, maybe Mentor would be better than Damping Sphere. Turn 1 Tommy and Moxim. We're pretty gnarly. Let's draw. If we draw Ugin's Labyrinth right now, I think we've got a pretty good chance. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty cooked. Sometimes Marvel cooperates, sometimes it doesn't. I've been working on it. I've also been trying to play Flare of Denial really badly in that deck because every time I play Affinity, all my opponents have Meltdown and Force of Vigor and stuff, and been trying to my best to avoid that. So I guess we're gonna go Solar Transformer into double Rumble probably, and then try to set up for a Marvel. Opponent's also an energy deck. King of Poners, 60 months. Yeah, we played with Necrodominant some. Raptor and Amulet. They flipped over a plane, so they seem to be Boros. Can you elaborate on why Ruby's from one stage of the board? I think it's the kind of thing that sounds good more than it is good, is my current approximation. Yeah, I have Tommy on that deck too. Yeah, I think Tommy could be good in Affinity. I think that the Flare build of Affinity is not there. Unironically, if I could play like 8 Spyglass Sirens, and again, I messed with the numbers like so much stuff on here or whatever. I'm not like, I don't know if I want to be on Flues, no Sagas, but if I could just play 8 Spyglass Sirens, the deck would work probably. Spyglass Siren's like so sick as a one drop that makes an artifact that you can sack to Flare and then leaves an artifact around. And like Thought Monitor sacking to Flare and rebuying with Emery seems like so sick, but there's just like with no blue artifact land too, it's the deck is struggling. So I could grab the Shifting Woodland and then maybe just attack them with Emrakul twice. Although, how castable is this Emrakul going to be? I'll have sorcery, instant, artifact, land in the yard. So 4 types. So Emrakul costs 9. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the woodland for now. And obviously we're hoping to find a Marvel. We don't find a Marvel, but I can try to spin an Amped Raptor next turn, maybe. Thinking about just casting the Puzzleknot. Because again, I could just attack them for 13 in the air twice. But can my opponent gain 7 life to stop me from just winning with this? I'm not sure. But I can cast Raptor and then still do the thing. But I can also cast Puzzleknot and then be able to hit any non-Emrakul card off Raptor. So lots of options for next turn. Spike, do you open MH3 paper? I bought 1 booster box in my life, and it was just to help or support a local game store I like. I would really recommend no one ever buy booster boxes or packs outside of trying to draft with them. I've also not ordered any MH3 singles because I have no modern tournaments coming up, and I will wait until I have modern tournaments to play any MH3 stuff. Oh, I guess the whole Woodland line's pretty bad against the White Orchid Phantom, huh? I think we have at least an... Oh, no, I milled my last basic. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's a punt. Okay, I would have loved that to be on the top of my library so I could have raptored into it. Oh, we can just cast it next turn. We had a Solar Transformer, which we'll get in there. Just gonna start casting levelers. Shaka with the 35 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, getting close to 3 years. Can we cast an Emrakul if we draw it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's skip here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Emrakul's... if we top deck Emrakul, we can cast it. So maybe I should have grabbed it in my hand earlier, huh? They find a Galvanic Discharge. What aspect have you been liking the most about Flare of Denial? What? That it is a counterspell that costs no mana. That's my favorite thing about it. That's also kind of the whole card. Thought it worked about working on Creativity Shell since the release of MH3. I mean, not really. I haven't really played a lot of Creativity overall. I don't find the archetype to be super duper interesting. Pointy Finger, 2 years. Thank you. Welcome back. I literally don't play Modern Blood Spike. Very funny. a lot of people do say this. Oh, they're gonna flip their Johnny. Yeah, Johnny's so sick in Boros. Oh, but they didn't kill their cat? Is that on purpose? One very funny thing here is, I guess if we draw Amped Raptor, we can sack the Puzzleknot, and we could even hit Emrakul off Amped Raptor. That would be the actual dream. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I guess just casting Leveler is not going to be enough by itself. Yeah, I think we have grabbed the Emrakul there. Maybe we have a little bit of a better chance. I'm going to bring in the Brotherhood ends again. Bring in the Flame Slashes. I think we can cut the Puzzleknots. It's maybe too many sideboard cards. The ends are pretty good, but we can just play 2. Rumble is really important. I can trim 1. Let me introduce Silver Raven. Is that this 1 mana, 1/1 flyer artifact scry 1? Yeah, it's much worse than Siren, because I love that Siren, it makes a non-creature artifact and you still second to play, you get to keep your artifact around. Why no full 4 Emrakul 15? Bad with Shifting Woodland. And we're using Shifting Woodland for redundancy here. Glennis Crane, dude, I almost I almost registered Glennis Crane. I don't know, maybe that's it. The problem with hard evidence is you can't sack the token to flare. Let's keep this. I guess I'm gonna try to surveil into one of my big colors cards so I can turn to Fable. Jet Collector. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you have Delirium, conjure a card called named Mox Jet into your hand. This ability triggers only once. And then it also reanimates stuff. That card is crazy. What was that green deck? Probably what we're playing next. Oh, not this one. Oh, so yeah. This one is not making the stream yet. So this is trying to loop Aftermath Analyst with Shifting Woodland. So you use your Woodland to copy your Analyst, and then you sack it, and then the trigger brings it back, and you can do that infinite times. And then eventually you're gonna make infinite mana because everything's untapping with an Amulet of Vigor, and then you'll be able to get back Takenuma, bounce Takenuma with a bounce land, channel Takenuma, return Karn, kill your opponent. But unfortunately, this is at the moment not making the cut. Nice! Turn 2 Fable. Now we're pretty good against a Boom Bust or a White Orchid Phantom. And we're not doing so bad against a Johnny. So I think I'm gonna discard Woodland and Transformer. Let's get ready to rumble. I can just grab the Fable because I can unearth the Leveler. I'm just gonna Flame Slash the Ajani and attack with the Shaman. I think I'll also just play the Solar Transformer this turn. Just a Guide of Souls, huh? Amped Raptor, casting Aetherworks Marvel. It's all coming together. So I can go up to 4 energy by sacking my treasure. I think I'm just casting another Fable. A bit early to say. So this is 2 energy copying an Amped Raptor. The Boris list that running Fable compared to the version you and Diego put together. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a good mid-range card, and yeah, it could be totally fine. That could be the card to play. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a good card. But there's just a lot of angles you can go with here. A lot of ins and outs of the case, if you will. Typically, like when we're doing deck building or whatever, and the deck has red and the deck doesn't have Fable, but people just always add Fable, which is, you know, maybe just based, but Fable's just not a mandatory card to include in red decks, but it's obviously fine. Okay, so discard here. Brick off of our draw here, suppose. Tap like this. A lot of good hits here. So do I cast this, or do I... Yeah, I'll cast it instead of just sandbagging the energy. Leave this to discard the Fable. Get it for 2. For the mono blue affinity deck, why would we not play Force of Negation if the idea is to just protect ourselves? We have a lot of blue cards and draw a lot. Well, it's one thing. It's nice to be able to use your card draw spells to draw. Is one big thing, but also I had both in the deck at one point, and also Flare Denial beats Force of Vigor, and Force of Negation doesn't, which is just a really, really big thing. There's also like a good amount of creatures that matter. Thank you for the energy. But no, you could. Funny. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have no more basics to get either. Ooh, another Amped Raptor. Can also just get the Aether Hub. Yeah, I'll just get the Aether Hub. Because we do have 6 energy because we can sack the spawn token, but this just means 6 energy sans sacking the spawn token. Okay. That was pretty good. Going to game 3. Why specifically promise it instead of Emrakul instead of the others? Is it hardcastable in this deck? It is hardcastable in this deck, and we don't want any of the ones that shuffle the graveyard because we're in on Shifting Woodland. Also, you know, when we're talking about like pitching the draw twos, like Thought Monitor is one of your 8 draw twos, and like this is a great card to sack to player denial too. I'd be tempted to run a couple through the breach. It's just that would be a different build, but you could maybe hybrid or smush those decks together. Bit awkward if they have a boom bust. Could maybe even lead on Woodland out of fear of boom bust. Maybe it was Ceaseless Hunger for standard callback. I think Ceaseless Hunger is worse than Leveler to copy with your Woodland. And Leveler is like a lot more castable off Amped Raptor, but Ulamog's better to cast off Marvel. But maybe Woodland's... If Woodland is just better to... If Woodland is better to... Or if Ulamog is better to copy with Woodland, if you think that, then sure. But I think just killing a permanent every turn seems kind of nice. Also, we'll kill them pretty quick. Oh, now, no land destruction is very lucky. Alright, hard to pass up on. Turn 2 Fable again. Ancient Tomb is broke. It's just that if the plan works with affinity creatures are not that scary for step. But well, I'm a bit confused at your phrasing, but I don't know. Again, it's just it is a half cooked idea that hasn't made the stream. So I'm not I'm not, you know, at the moment even feeling like that deck is a good deck. So we could sack the treasure token, make an energy, but then we'd still be 1 short. So I think we're gonna try to Marvel next turn. Gonna lead on Rumble. Find a second Fable, which seems like Fable's just always so crazy on these empty boards. Kataki, huh? Not very scary, I guess. Can discard this, I suppose. I play Marvel before attacking because if my opponent blocks, I want to get the extra energy. So 1, 2. I think I'll just spin first. Nice. You look pretty good. On the play with a turn 2 Fable, so we're going to keep. Any food decks in the works? I haven't really been working on them because like a lot of them are just like, well, actually we played one yesterday. We played a mono red Asmo deck that we 4-1 with. I thought looked pretty good. But it was less of a food deck that more so it was like a mono red Urza Saga deck that just, you know, was also playing Asmo. My opponent's playing 80 cards or 81, 2, 3. Yeah, 88 cards. For some reason. What about 6 plus Steel Seeker? Yeah, there could be something there. I also like, you know, I like Sorin too, so it's just not something. It's not just not a direction I've gone yet. You know, a lot of like the exploration, like you kind of have to go in one direction for a while and like figure out all the stuff over here, and then, you know, get back to the other side of the the field. So I guess we can use Shifting Woodland to copy this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch both of these. And then I now have Delirium. And then I can just attack them for 13 then 13, or I can copy Leveler and kill a thing of theirs if they play like a Nadu or something. Or I could draw an Aetherworks Marvel. And I'm pretty sure that we are just supposed to cast the Aetherworks Marvel, since if they counter it, we just get to copy it with the Shifting Woodland and then spin. Oh my gosh, there's a Teferi! Fuck. 1 second too late. Yeah, I missed anyways, huh? Yeah, out of nowhere, huh? Haven't finished my yerba mate. So I'm gonna block, get an energy. And then they get back their Felia. So let's copy the Cityscape Leveler, and then I'm going to attack my opponent, and then I'm going to trigger kill the Teferi. Unless they have a Solitude, and then we'll be very upset. But we probably would have lost this game against Solitude anyways. Wait, they shock and Sacred Foundry. They're Solituding Ephemerate. Okay, let's go to game. Game 2. Shame concede. Although, yeah, if we went for... I think if they had the Solitude last turn, we were still kind of toasted. Malevolent Discharge is good against Teferi also. Don't have a lot in the way of beating 80 card Bant at the moment. We'll just run it back. Yeah, we just needed to go. We just needed to discharge the Teferi instead. Although it was also like we didn't have Marvel in their hand at the time anyways. And my plan was to just like Woodland them twice, but like we could have like the plan to like Woodland, copy the Leveler, attack them for 8, kill the Teferi, then copy the Emrakul next turn for lethal seemed pretty fine. And then top decked the secret worst part possible. Had the Boros Energy deck with Party Thresher performance today. Not very well, but we also like we had a really hard time casting 2-drops on turn 2, which is very tough in the Boros stack. I don't know. It's like when we're playing it in paper with Young Dingo, with Boros, like we were just curving out constantly, like with this very little mana flood, mana screw, and I've been playing it online, and it's just been like non-functional draws after non-functional draws. So it's been kind of tough. Let's go to Mulligan to 6. Keep this one. Put back Emrakul. I'm not sure that putting back Emrakul is better than putting back like the Puzzleknot. I think Lavinia is good in the format. Shuts down a lot of big mana decks, stopping it from casting creatures. Sub-Solitude Grief. Lavinia, I think, has never been good in Modern. It has like always been one of like the most overhyped cards. It's a card that people always like go, "Wait, this is it. This is like the solution to the format." And in my experience, it hasn't really ever been that, and I am not a big fan of the card. I it is very fragile. It doesn't stop as much as you would hope it does. I don't know. Kind of a Lavinia hater. She's fine, but she also like the format right now is like Nadu and Ruby Storm are like I think the top 2 decks, and she's also not good against either of those. She became like way worse against Tron when they stopped playing a bunch of Ugins and Karns and just started playing a bunch of like 4-mana Karns and Rings that Lavinia just like has nearly no text against. Do you think splashing black for Thoughtseize could be worth in Boros to help you out versus combo? I mean, it's just it's a different deck at that point. Like you can't splash for a 1-mana spell, and like that's like your only, or in a deck like that, and that's like your only black card. Okay, so let's go for the Cityscape Leveler line. Wait, oopsie doopsie. This is pretty sweet to me. I'm pretty into this. Should have actually maybe I should have played second Woodland though. They have endurance? Maybe they're just reading. 80 cards, by the way. Solitude both times. Dissonance Path in an Eldrazi deck. It's probably not a card you should register. But I like your gusto. What's with the 80 card decks? It's always been a little bit of a phenomenon on Magic Online. These like people just got very used to building 4-color as 80 cards, and they kind of just never stopped. Maybe I should have marveled first, because they would potentially let it resolve, and then I have 2 discharges, but resolved anyways. They don't play a lot of counter spells usually. Okay, not bad to beat through the Solitude and the Teferi. Force of Vigor, thank you for the 2 energy. And then I can just copy the Marvel with my Shifting Woodland potentially, so this isn't even really a big problemo. Although, we're still playing this game for sure. They got 4 cards in their hand still. So I guess I just go Halfling, Ephemerate. And then we keep playing. I think Essence Reliquary is worth trying and just control. Go with Ring, Solitude, Southern Archer Flage. Yeah, I think it's worth playing potentially. I have a Jeskai list that's playing Snapcaster Flame alongside Tamio that I want to work on some today, but I think we could also do something like that too. So there's Nadu 2 mystery cards. Seems like they likely don't have a land. So I could charge up my energy, or I could just Cityscape level them. I think I'm gonna go for this. And let's just get an Emrakul into play. Pretty powerful land, Shifting Woodland. What the fuck? They have a Wrenn and 6 for their fetch land. What are bad matchups for Storm and Nadu? Storm seems to have no bad matchups. It just kind of like fizzles sometimes, and sometimes doesn't draw answers to hate pieces. Nadu, I think, is bad against the Wizards, like the Flame of Anor decks and the Wrath of the Skies decks. And I think Nadu's also bad against Ruby Storm. Another Aetherworks Marvel. Can they beat my Shifting Woodland? Aren't D&T decks super favored against Storm? No. Or like there's no Death and Taxes deck that is in Modern right now that's main decking like 4th Thalia, like just a million lock pieces for Storm. Like that, this is like a fantasy deck, I think I'm just gonna go to combat and then discharge the Omnath in response to a fetch. And then play Marvel post-combat if they can deal with this. Like fantasy deck that's all like Storm lock pieces. Sure, but this isn't a real thing. Okay, going to game 3. No Aether Revolt in this deck, but this deck started off as an Aether Revolt brew. And I was really thinking, man, I wish I could play Ugin's Labyrinth in this deck and then play Marvel instead. Yeah, the prison Tron decks too are popping up. They look pretty good. So we have Labyrinth, but we have like just probably too much top end. I'm just gonna mulligan. Keep this one. Put back second Forest. Then we can go Attune into Transformer Raptor. And can we cast? I don't think we have enough for Emrakul. We have enough to hit well, I guess we're doing the Marvel thing, huh? Oh, also does Teferi stops Amped Raptor, right? Hopefully, they don't 80 cards this again. Yeah, anything fun, Teferi stops is the general rule of thumb. So I have 3 energy here, plus 5. So yeah, I would be 3 short of hitting Emrakul off my Amped Raptor. We could hit Cityscape Leveler. Ami Nami. So we can't spin our Marvel next turn, which is a problem. And they get to pop off next turn, which is also a problem. So I'm just gonna play these two. And hope to not hit an Emrakul. Well, love this Galvanic Discharge. Linda, the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Is this Nadu? Hopefully it's Nadu. Whew. Thought they were going to Teferi me again. They read in 6 ping for the trigger. Reveal Flage. It's kind of funny. They crack this, and I guess I don't want to surveil. I want to cast one of my other cards. Nice. It's working. It's working. Another Marvel, another Raptor. Both seem pretty decent. I'll just take the Raptor because I can copy the Marvel with my Shifting Woodland if I need another one. Okay. Always got the Solitude. You have Ephemerate also? Sheesh. Although I can at least like Solitude their own Nadu off the rebound now. And then they're gonna get like 2 cards off that, but maybe that's not such a big deal. Fair version of Nadu, like have I thought about a fair version of going to Dingo? Yeah, I've thought about the deck we built. And so the Endurance my Marvel away, which I guess is okay. They just have a land in their hand. So we will get rid of the Nadu probably. Teferi, huh? So we can Teferi bounce something and then ping the Teferi with the Ren and 6. But they have drawn 2 Teferis. I guess I can just play both now. Another Ren and 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Theoretically 7 mana, so not enough to play both. So I guess I should just go Teferi. And is it better to minus first? I don't think so. I don't have I didn't play my Puzzleknot or Raptor, or my Raptor's dead, so I can't like bounce my Raptor back to hand. So I think I just bounce the Halfling back to hand. They drew a ring, which is pretty good, I guess, because I can't Emrakul them now. Take a look at their deck list. As we fail to find. They have Charmals, 2 Nadus, 2 Unmourned Egos, 1/6, 2 Force of Vigor. Okay. You want to fizzle the -3 by targeting my spawn? Maybe. See? Also just bouncing the halfling, denying the mana is interesting. So if you're going to play Collector's Cage and Scales, you need to have 4 Turn Timber Symbiosis in your mana base. I think. And we just get rid of the Emrakul Ugin's Labyrinth stuff, I think. Or I like the idea. I like the idea of overlapping Emrakul, Ugin's Labyrinth, Collector's Cage, Scales, but we need more things to imprint to the Labyrinth, I would think. Maybe not. Maybe it's okay just colorless land. I'd probably just cut the Inkmoth Nexuses for Turn Timbers. Could maybe do that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Just maybe light on green sources. Let me get back to this real quick. So they have protection from everything, so hitting another Emrakul wouldn't necessarily be ideal. Yeah, you can't imprint Turn Timber. I know it's a problem. Why not bouncing anything? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking or what you want me to do different, but I did bounce Halfling. I don't know. It was also possible to use Wrenn and 6 to sack. To use a second Wrenn and 6, it was not possible. We had 7 total mana available that turn, right? They drew Force of Vigor, which is kind of a pain. So I can Cityscape Leveler, or I can just put an Emrakul into play. Seems like I should just go for a Leveler here. Since I can't mind control them because they have pro everything. And the Force of Vigor go into the yard. Or the Marvel goes to the yard. Once I get Delirium back online, we can Woodland copy. They wanted you to bounce Solitude first with Teferi, pitch the second, save 3 mana. Oh, I see. Okay, I guess that was a better line. This is interesting. I really want 4 Turn Timber Symbiosis in the deck. Cool idea. I'm not sure how you get more hits for Ugin's Labyrinth, but it could be worth doing. It's a good draft. They besiege you my woodland. But now they give me a Surveil. But they also have the Wrenn and 6 besiege you going, and they can kill my Cityscape Leveler. And they drew another Teferi, which is not exactly ideal. So now I can use Shifting Woodland to copy my Aetherworks Marvel. But they have Teferi in play, so that doesn't really work. Cast Teferi, bounce Solitude, pitch cast Teferi, get rid of Halfling, play new Wrenn, down tick Teferi. Yeah, that was a better line for sure. Yeah, we also don't have Delirium. I'm gonna concede, I think. Tough stuff. I like the deck's kind of interesting and powerful. Let's do one more. And then pivot over to the Flare of Cultivation deck. Just took us some time to get into another match. Sand will be great if we draw big card. Although I don't mind, I guess, having a Puzzleknot draw against Burn here, I suppose. Another Ugin's Labyrinth. Ugin's Labyrinth's everything and nothing to imprint. Or everywhere and nothing to imprint. What about Psychic Frog to discard Echoes of Aeon? A lot of times people I don't know what you want me to do with this. what about it? You know, this is the start of an idea. You got to finish the idea. I can't just shit out a deck list for you. Another Woodweaver's Puzzleknot. I mean, obviously this card's pretty good. We're gonna play a Raptor first. We have 12 bricks off the Raptor, but also just going +2 energy in this deck is not the end of the world. And this is a great hit. Can go double 2-drop next turn. Just Blaze. Obviously, the Puzzleknots are so funny here. Frog Echo, 52 lands. Now we're cooking. So let's Puzzleknot, then Raptor, and we can even cast a Cityscape Leveler. For Emrakul looks like a bit much, but must have been late. Emrakul the Province End is like so perfect for this deck. I don't know. we're a Marvel Ugin's Labyrinth deck. We have ways to loot them away. I don't know. I don't know what you would do differently. If anything, I think we maybe not. I think we have a good. Okay, well, we hit it here. Should have waited a turn. I don't know. Not very good with Raptor, but it's very hard to like do all this together. And Raptor just being energy generator is kind of fine sometimes. Not doing a bit hardcasting big things. We've done a little bit. We have a good amount of ramp with Labyrinth and Solar Transformer. Seems that Woodweaver's Puzzleknot is the MVP. Guess we could lose a Skullcrack. Wow, they have it. So dead to 2 burn spells. You have 3 cards, kind of likely. Wow, Skullcrack, so good. Okay, we're gonna bring in the Flame Slashes. It's a bummer of a game to lose, drawing all 3 Puzzleknots against burn. Could have played around it with like leaving the instant speed crack up. It's probably right, because we just kind of can't lose. Let's go down a Rumble and a Transformer. Click Submit. I give this one a go. I think having 2 removal spells against burn is really premium, and then also having Malevolent Rumble to smooth out this draw is nice, and if they don't have a creature on turn 2, we can get a Surveil land. Yeah, fairies with Spellstutter Sprite, Flare of Denial, and Flame of Venor sounds kind of nice, if I'm going to be honest. Not exactly opposed to trying it. At risk of including Sleep Cursed Fairy in a deck. Alright, taking the Marvel. Lightning Greaves. It gets hit off Raptor and Bing Bang Bongos when you hit a Marvel. It's kind of interesting. Searing Blaze a token. Really dang good here. Sneaky Snacker. Oh yeah, Sneaky Snacker. I forgot about Sneaky Snacker. Dude, what a draw. Okay, someone remind me to build fairies later. I maybe not like on stream today, but I did forget that I like Sneaky Snacker, so I'm like kind of on board. Like I don't love that card, but it seems kind of nice. You could play Tomio also. I think you could be pretty good at like sacking that to flare, bringing it back. This keep law. I don't know. Having double burn spell against burn is nice. Or of course, they only have 1 creature here. Could have mulliganed. Snacker and Frog, yeah. Spellstutter Sprite is modern playable, surely. Spellstutter Sprite's fine. I don't think she's bad. I think, especially if you can get X equals 2, she's probably pretty good in this metagame. Sex to Flare. Yeah, Brainstorm. Yeah, we don't have any Brainstorms for that card, but let's see. Come on, Puzzleknot. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 mana short of leveling. Snacker with Village Rights? That's something. Yeah, there is Brain Surge, huh? I think that was Skullcrack. Thought that playing Heat over Flame Slash and started getting Delirium. Yeah, that might have been better. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Una's Blackguard fan. I've tried that card a few times. Oh, my opponent didn't cast anything. Maybe there's a chance. Blue-red Fearless leans into Snapbolt with Wizards, Lightning, and Flame of Anor. Yeah, we were talking about trying to build that too. Seems like could be the way to go. Could be Grixis. Oh, okay, there's a Woodweaver's Puzzleknot on top. If there's any card on top to save us, it's this one. Any Takings Turn Brews? I mean, I had one with, like, the 2-mana Jace from the last set, but I have not, built any with MH3. Opponent, can we go to game 3 or what's going on? Oh, black cards kind of suck. Well, it's the Snacker. The Snacker is really good with Flame of Anor, right? Is Snacker a wizard? Rogue, damn it. I could have been a wizard. I like a necromancer. Opponent, you're up a game. You're up a game. You get to be on the play for game 3. Brew stream. I really want to play the, before we get brewing too deep, I want to play the Flare of Cultivation deck, because we haven't played that on stream yet, and I've got an updated build of it. And I also kind of want to play, the fact that Woodlands are looking so good makes me a little bit more optimistic about this build too. But maybe that one just needs more work. Searing Blaze makes a lot of sense for them to have had in their hand here. Well, we have to fetch Fail to Find and put them to exactly 13. I mean, it looked pretty stock. Thank you, Goblin Guide. Eldrazi decks don't work. We played some, so like we need to play more of the Madness Emrakul deck. Like we 4-1'd our first league and we only lost to the Field of Ruin. Every Field of Ruin ever played in the hands of Imayashi. So we need to play a little bit more of that deck too. We do long streams, got time for a lot of stuff. Okay, going to game 3. I guess I should play the 4th Rumble just so I have the ability to find more Puzzleknots. Could go down to Fable on the draw, seems fine. Maybe even want to go down to 2 Fables on the draw. I like the idea of turn 2ing it on the play, but on the draw it's a lot worse. Well, I can't believe we won that game. Obviously, we had to have an awful hand, and then we had to top deck Puzzleknot. Don't think I'm going to mulligan this. Does Lizard Witters let you convoke non-creature spells, you madness? It should, yeah. But the problem is there are basically no good madness cards. Amped Raptor. Looking for an excuse to play Worldbreaker. I mean, it pitches to Ugin's Labyrinth, so like it really can't be that bad. It's not very good to copy with Woodland, but I have it in the Eldrazi build of this deck. Although we also haven't playtested this, but this build became a lot more stompy focused with the ability to like Woodland copy Reality Smasher, and like I've been meaning, and we're also playing Chalice in the main, so I've been meaning to play that build too. Haven't got around to it. All the Flipwalkers have been featured in prominent MH3 decks except Grist. Maybe we played a little bit of Grist, but Grist has been not that good. Okay, so Spears has been rough. But yeah, Grist has been pretty mediocre and not necessarily showing signs of rising to prominence or anything. Pretty sure it's just very important that I can Raptor with at least 4 energy. Has Rumble been better than Stirrings in bigger decks? So it's definitely better in like this deck, or maybe not this one exactly. Or like when you have like Fanatic of Ronus, 6, Emrakul the Promised End, these like graveyard focused cards, it's been better. Otherwise not necessarily. Down to 9, effectively down to 6, probably down to 2 if they when they cast their extra burn spell here. I agree that the best part of Grist has been milling it with the the good Grist. So I'm going to be digging for a Puzzleknot. I'm going to start off with Attune for a forest. Then I'm going to Rumble. If we find Puzzleknot, we'll cast Puzzleknot, I guess. Like, I'm still dead to a burn spell, actually, with this line, right? Okay, we didn't find it, so I'm just going to Aetherworks Marvel into my hand, and then we'll hit a Puzzleknot off this Amped Raptor, and everything will be fine. Second Amped Raptor. Enough mana to spin Marvel next turn at least. Probably dead. Can beat that card. Can beat that card. Maybe. Kind of needed this card to be a little bit higher in the deck. Or one card deeper, maybe. Play a spell, so... Not going to play any of these. If my opponent draws lands, I guess, but we kind of just don't even have outs anymore at this point. Bummer. Okay, I do really want to brew fairies. But let's pivot over to the forest deck for now.